Hello and welcome to another live stream. My name's Shane Olson and I appreciate you joining me today. Today we're going to be working on this wizard. I ran across it earlier and I just thought it was absolutely adorable. So I'm like, okay, I got to try this. And it's very, very asymmetrical. So it's super appealing. I want to try and sculpt it in pose. I typically don't do that, but for this one it's so pushed and so posed that I wanted to try it out and we'll see how it goes. So, all right, let's get to it. Hey Neil, how does it sound? Everything good? Okay. So I do want to start with his head, and then I'll turn his head and kind of aim it that way. All right, let's see here. Get this going. I'll make his head quite large. So in case we go to using Sculptris Pro, we can have the resolution that we need. And we'll duplicate his. Actually, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna sculpt it and not rely too much on crazy blockouts. The stupid what? Mouse one volume slide. What are you talking about? I don't know what that sentence said, Neil. Sorry. I don't know if your cat walked across your keyboard or what. Oh, your stupid mouse won't let go of the volume slider. I see. So it's the mouse, not the cat. Okay. Okay. So, you know what? I'm just going to do a lot of Sculptris Pro on this one, I think. Yeah, no worries, Neil. I was just like, what? Okay, so we're going to turn apply on and apply this. And then I was just applying the dynamic subdivisions. And then we're going to go over here and we'll delete the lower subdivision levels. So then we have this resolution. And then we just want to make sure we have spotlight projection off. And then we are going to roll that subdivide size down. Not that far though. That's a bit dense. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then we can just kind of flood fill this. I tend to think of it like filling a canvas. If you're ever used to painting with oil paints, you usually take your canvas and it's just made of cloth, right? So you kind of paint it with this stuff called gesso, which is almost like a plaster in a way. And it fills all the fibers of the cloth and gets it ready for painting. That's kind of what this reminds me of. I kind of fill everything with these triangles so I can start to sculpt on it. But all right, I'm just gonna start going for it, pulling these eyes in. Hey Signor, nice to see you. Hope everything's going well. Thank you. It's going pretty well. Yeah. Every day's a good day when you sculpt. That's my, like Bob Ross, every day's a good day when you paint. Okay, so I'm just going to start roughing out some shapes here. Yeah, as you guys know, I don't usually do my sculpts like this, but I'm going to try and be faster. So that means less meticulous and just more roughness. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, you can grab my free brushes over on my website. And no, I haven't updated them yet. I should do that today. Okay. even though you can't see his ears, I'm going to give him some ears. And I'm going to, again, I'm just going for speed. So I'm just going to block a little chunk out like this. This is the way I used to do things way back in the day, before I did the primitive blockout stuff. And those videos are still up on, is it Vimeo? Is that what it's called, Neil? Vimeo? Or is that the, I always get that mixed up with Venmo. Venmo, Vimeo, what is it called? Okay, BCB is a clay buildup. So that's a brush I don't have down here, but yeah, I just kind of want to build that up back here. I might need to go lower with these. Oh, and that's why I didn't turn off adaptive. Okay, if you're going to be using Sculptus Pro, you want to turn off this adaptive size. Otherwise, it's going to scale the triangles to the brush rather than the scene. And you can see that's exactly what happened with this ear right here. So yeah, those are lower, not quite that low. There we go. Maybe a little lower though. Let's try that. There we go. Let's try that. So it's going to be a little 8-bit-ish until I get things going. I'm just smoothing this out. Okay, I want him to have that kind of wizard witch chin, whatever you want to call it. His eyebrows are going to be key. And then I'm just going to do like the mask pull stuff. We're just going to grab his nose here. Invert this. I'm using snake hook instead of move because if I show my wireframe, you can see that when I move it, it's going to generate more triangles. So as I do my movements, you can see that triangles are being generated here, and I can smooth them out and go a little smaller. Pull this, his nose is nuts. Let's try it from, thanks Wilbert. Isn't that awesome? How are you doing today? I'm trying my old techniques of just mask and pull. It reminds me of those pigeons on oh, what's the name of that movie? They're like, they get their head caught. They're like twist and pull. Oh, what is that movie? It's a Disney movie about that dog. It's like a superhero dog. You guys will remember before I do. Hey Sammy, how are you? Glad you could catch me live. All right. So hold on one second. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm gonna pull out these nostrils. And daughter comes down singing. Every time I sculpt a character with beard, I need to imagine it without it. Yep. This is because I always do the hair and fur in Maya. Ah, X-Gen. Part of my style and the anatomy is wrong. They don't look good. Yep. I hear you there. Okay, I'm going to go a little tighter on the triangles right here, just so I can pull this nostril up. Turn the smoothing details down. And then use inflate somewhat. Let's turn this off so we can actually see what we're doing. We'll use move to pull this nostril into the head a little bit more, and I want to get that transition going from the nose to the face. Now that I turn smooth down, I want it more. That's how it goes, right? He's got this little quirky smile that's funny. Kind of hard to see what his cheeks are doing. I just kind of have to make it up. And he's got that really wild eyeball, which is hilarious. And then this one is closed. So I won't really know what that's going to look like until I get it in the pose. But like I said, I'm trying to do this asymmetrically and just sculpt him, you know, as we go. So let's see here. I'm just going to turn off symmetry and just break the pose right now. I know it's crazy and it's scary, but I'm going to do it. Let's see here, as if it was real clay. I know. Okay. So I'm going to pull this eyebrow down already. Bring this one up. Yeah, see, now that it's in pose, I can see that I really need to pull his nose down a lot. It doesn't go straight out, it goes kind of down. Hey, Aika, how are you? Something maybe not that far. Yep. Hey, yep, I am in ZBrush. Crazy, right? How are you doing, Ian? Or, sorry. Yeah, Ian, good to see you. How are you doing? Ian, I'm trying out, I'm just sculpting in asymmetry. It's crazy, right? I think I'm even going to sculpt in perspective. That's like a ultra challenge, right? It's good to see you here, though, Ian. I need to see your OBS overlay that those guys were talking about. Doing great. Happy to see you stream. It's like the good old days. Yeah, totally. Just like them good old days. It feels good to be sculpting again, not gonna lie. Managed to catch you last stream. Yeah, good stuff. Ian always does good stuff. This has such a funny, unique shape to this nose. I kind of want to hook it around like this. So better do that to the other side. There's no symmetry. Send you the info for the OBS keyboard. Okay. Well, I saw your link in the Discord. I just haven't. I need to see what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to use one a long time ago. I don't know if you remember that, but it was so hokey. It was like some 12-year-old kid programmed it or something. Okay, I'm only going to use one eyeball. One eye. I know, crazy. Let's split this off. And then we'll we'll stick it in his head, sort of. It's kind of hanging out of his head. You remember you remember that wonderful piece of programming? Okay, let's take a look. And I think I need to close this. Use the pizza boxes and turn his head even more here. Go. Keyviz. Yeah, it's like a Keyviz thing, but it's the one Ian's been using is way better. Like, it actually looks professional. Okay, let's make some. Once he gets his brows and beard and all that going on, it's gonna really make it shine. It'll make it light up. Okay, I gotta get comfortable here. Jeez. Okay, let's do. I'm gonna turn off Sculptors Pro for a second, and we're just gonna grab this topology brush, and then make his brow kind of like this. And then we'll just go ahead and add thickness right now. Living dangerous. Split that off. It's kind of freeing to be sculpting this way. No symmetry. I need to clear up the creases though. I don't want creases. Don't need no stinking creases. Subdivide it a couple times, maybe one more time. And then we're going to get rid of the lower. We're just working all high resolution. We're getting crazy. Crazy town. Let's go ahead and fill this with oh my gosh. I kind of wish this wasn't such a guess. Ian. Oh, funny. Sorry, I'm cracking myself up. Like, hey, Ian, could you go fix that really fast? Thanks. Oh, yeah, the bear arm. Yeah. I've thought of, I've actually thought about, I was playing with the idea of doing the VTuber thing a while back, and I still might do it. I sculpted out like a caricature of myself, and I don't hate it, so I might still go down that path. Okay, these triple little squiggly doos. Okay, and then I'm going to take this this carve brush and then just kind of cut into this a little bit, just to give it some interest and make it look like it's not just the tip that's doing the three little end cap thingies. And then I'm just going to kind of riff off the other side, see how what this brow looks like. I want to kind of do that sort of on this side as well. So I'm going to pull this up. I do have AccuCurve on to get this kind of squarish look. What are you saying, Neil? Why are you doing the hot fix for Shane? Ian, also add You know, sound effects pack for the brushes, right? I've been waiting for that for a long time. Been focusing on fitness and overall health, weight, and gaming. Fitness and health is important. What games have you all been playing lately? You won't believe what I've been playing. I don't get too much time in, but the time I do get, it's precious, fun. Yeah, I hear you about the work in progress ones. I've actually thought about, I can't remember if it was, I think it was Steve I was talking to, my buddy Steve. Just talking about, I have like hundreds of characters that I've done on the Pixelogic / Maxon YouTube channel over the years, and a lot of them have never been finished, like finished. And I was thinking it might be kind of fun on my channel, because I don't have to stay in ZBrush on my channel. You know, I can push my models to other programs. And I was thinking about maybe rendering them in Blender, finishing them up, making them look nice, you know, and just maybe go that direction with my channel, you know. What do you guys think about that? Then it's like you get to see the end instead of, usually I'm streaming the beginning, you know. It's like primitive blockout after primitive blockout. But a lot of people are like, I want to know how you render these and finish them off. You've been playing Sculpting the game to relax from sculpting. Yes, I have. Wilbert, you're a cheater. I already told you what I was playing. And it is Sculpting the game. But it's actually called, oh, you crack me up. It's actually called, what is it called? It's, what is it called? Vintage Story. That's what I've been playing. Vintage Story. So he's not wrong. Wilbert made a joke, but it's not wrong. Because Vintage Story started out as a Minecraft mod, I guess. I don't know the whole story, but started out as a Minecraft mod, and they kind of just took it in the survival mode championship, and they just took it all the way to you have to like chisel away from, you have to chisel like your hammerhead out of a slab of rock, you know, and your mine pick, you kind of have to tap it out of we'll basically chisel it out from a rock. And it's pretty dang satisfying to literally like sculpt your tools, but that's where it just begins. And then you actually sculpt like a hammer and chisel set. And then you literally chisel your home into whatever you want in little tiny pixels. Voxels. Let's just call them voxels because they're 3D pixels. And it's a blast. It's a blast. And it does have these survival game elements to it, you know, so you're trying not to die. It has this really cool, like, I want to call it a steampunkish type mechanic, where there's these teleportation rifts. It's called Vintage Story. You can't get it on Steam. It's its own thing. So again, it kind of started out as Minecraft mod, and it became its own game, and so you have to buy it directly from them, and then it's just an installer. And it's still in early access, but it's a very small team, and they you can just tell they're very passionate about it, and it's been out for quite some time. Let's see. I was thinking about maybe even playing it on Twitch, on my Twitch channel. and having you guys hang out if you want on my Twitch channel with me while I play it. Sculpting in a voxel game. I would love to see you finishing up some pieces. Would be great for people like me trying to sort out portfolios. Yeah, Matt, for sure. Okay. Let's get rid of the lower on this one. Just kind of flood fill it. Yeah, Ian, it's pretty wild for sure. And there's like surface creatures like bears and goats and fox and stuff like that that you can harvest and because it's a survival game, so you have to like hunt and gather and all that kind of stuff too. But then you have to, it's like Minecraft, so you're mining, but the ores you have to find are like real world ores. It's a lot of okay. So and when you get into the copper age, because you start at the stone age, so you're like chipping out your stone head, but when you get to the copper age, you literally have to smelt metal. And it's not like Minecraft where you put two things together and boom, you got a pick or whatever. It's like, no, you literally have to. Okay, so to make, just for example, to make coal, because you have to have coal because it burns hotter than firewood. Hey, what's up, Eric? He does look like a prospector. So to make coal, you have to bury firewood in the ground, and then so it only a little bit of it is exposed, and then you light it on fire and then cover it up. So I mean, that's kind of how you make coal in the real world, right? So you have to have like coal reserves. You have to build them. You can find coal in the world, but it's not very often, so it's much easier to make your own. Anyway, it's just really intuitive and it's very moddable. I really like mods. I think mods, like, part of the game is modding it. Modding the game. Hey, Rubber Johnny, thank you very much. Okay, why is that going in? What's going on here? AccuCurve. There we go. I guess I didn't have AccuCurve turned on my snake hook brush. Oh, I want this. Let's see. Okay, that's better. And then we'll inflate this closed a little bit more, close that gap up. Ian, I could show it to you. It's pretty wild, man. It is. And so I should try and explain to you how to smelt copper. I don't even know if I could remember all the parts. Like, just to make a fire, like, you literally have to like whittle sticks together and make a fire, just like you would if you were a scout. Okay. Or a wilderness survivor. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself playing it. But it's also difficult, like Dark Souls difficult, because the rust monsters. They come after you. All right, have a good meeting. Say hi to the peeps for me. Always thought a game in VR would be cool like that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are some, but nothing like that. Okay, I really want to keep the roundness, this beard, but I want to kink it about here. I'm going to turn off sculptress mode for a second so I can get some volume down in here. Crank up the volume. Pull this down here like this. Remember, there's no symmetry, so I'm doing it to both sides. Whatever I do over here, I gotta kinda do over here. Add some more volume back underneath here. Okay. Now, we can Sculptress Pro this guy. I'm gonna go not so dense with it. There we go. And then we can use, looks like this is part of the eyebrow. We need to split it off. Okay, and then I want to do a save as. Say wizard. Yeah, I'll just call it wizard 001 for now. I just finished playing The Last of Us 1 and 2. It was a pretty cool experience, masterfully created, especially in the art and narrative department. Yeah, I still need to play that. Part of it is set in like Salt Lake City where I live. I mean, it's not very true to the area really, but a little bit. Death Stranding, how's that? It's kind of a little pink from the lighting here. And his eyeball is very yellowish. Okay. So I don't want to get too lost in these details. I want to get that hat in there and his sleeves and his robe and all that. I really need to get. I had some fun during the Maxon live stream last Thursday. I stream over there on Thursdays, so if you look up Maxon space ZBrush YouTube channel, I stream over there on Thursdays at noon Pacific, so same time as I stream here. Same. So you can subscribe over there and over here. You can hit the bell if you want to be notified when I go live. Yeah, so twice a week is the goal. I've been able to do it so far. It's been fun. So hopefully more people can catch me. And yes, I still give away my brushes. These ZBrush brushes you see down at the bottom here. I use them every day in my sculpts in both my streaming and my professional work. I do a lot of freelance on the side, and I use all those brushes in my freelance every day. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna start to get that little smirk. Just let's go detail so I can get deeper in there. just to give myself kind of a guide, a map of where things are at. That might be way too low. Let's get him a good smile going, and then we can inflate that closed. I think I might turn Sculptress Pro off of inflate, because when brushes are doing something and then like the generation of geometry underneath it is kind of working against it. See, for this pinch, I have it turned off for pinch. I think I might turn it off for inflate, because if you're going really large with an inflate, I can understand why mesh creation would make sense, but I usually do just subtle inflation, not like the US. Sorry. Okay. I've also been playing a little bit of Stardew Valley again at night. Going as I'm laying down, chilling out for the night. That's such a chillax game. I love it. Okay, let's get that hat blocked in. I think I'm gonna do the upper crazy thing first. The appendage. Let's split this off. Love your pinch brush, using it a lot. It's like normal pinch, but with the added height of damn standard, perfect for what I do. Awesome. Yeah, it started as it's called Ma Cut, M-A-H, and that Ma stood for Malachus, which is from a gentleman that's no longer with us. He invented that brush. He just accidentally ran across a way to make that pinch work. So yeah, that's how it started. That's why it like creases that valley so great. Hey Al, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it's so much fun. I'm like, okay, I gotta sculpt that. And the artist herself, she does some really good 3D as well. So if you want, you can give her a follow. And Neil, if you wouldn't mind pasting the link to her Instagram, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's just tweak this. Let's again, I'm not using symmetry for this one. Yeah, Victoria, there you go. Thank you. This forehead showing, and I'm gonna curl this whole thing. Let's do, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna add some geometry. So in case when I stretch it, I'll have enough to stretch it. Okay. Yeah, creative, absolutely. Yep. So I'm going to kind of do something like that using ZBrush's bend curve tool. So it's not quite as robust as the Nomad's tube tool, but I think it will kind of get me there. So we'll try it and see. I'm going to ignore this kind of pinched out area right here first. I just try to get this going like this. Adding more. Okay, let's get really detailed with this. see if we can. So I'll curl it. Oh goodness. What in the twist is going on? Yeah, once I get past here, it just spins. Look at that. Okay, don't do that. It's doing it again. I guess I can't pull it that far. I guess I could try and use twist. So this orange is twist, so I can kind of get it. I can untwist it. And this white one, gray one right here is scale. So I can make it different scale. So I can scale this one down a lot. Yeah, so I'm trying to just kind of get that. Let's see. Can I untwist this? No, it's just gonna twist. All right, I'm gonna have to do that by hand with sculpt brushes. Okay, I think I'm done with this curve tool. I'm just burying myself more. All right, let's just fix this. And then we'll finish it out with like snake hook and stuff. Go. Kind of liking that. Let's smooth this down a lot. I would also like this now. Sometimes I've become spoiled with some of the things Nomad does, like you know, cranking the smooth intensity up past 100. That's something that's super cool that I wish ZBrush had. ZBrush has smooth stronger, which is sort of that, but it's a whole different brush. Which I kind of wish I could make smooth stronger, just the default smooth, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to do something like this. And then bend it. Okay, let's see if I think I want to tilt it away from us a little bit, like this. Okay, and now we can go in here and just kind of select this area right there, invert that, and just kind of shrink it on down. And that'll be that tied off section. Actually, no, I just want to pinch. I just want to pinch the upper. So just this section right here, I'm going to do it by hand with the move brush. I guess I could do it with snake hook. So when you have dynamic subdivisions turned on, not dynamic subdivisions, Sculptress Pro, which is dynamic topology. Okay, when you have that turned on, the move brush will not create new triangles, whereas the snake hook brush will. So if I want to create new geometry as I pull this in, let's turn AccuCurve off. Then I can use the snake hook brush to do it. So yeah, I kind of want to do something like that. That way, see, it keeps this there. I want to get rid of this underturn on the bottom of this hat here. you're back. Welcome. You just had to go play some Vintage Story really quick. Go sculpt some voxels and then come back. Okay, let's get that brim on there. Brim to the brimless hat. Also kind of smooth this out, and then I'll get some of these details later on. We're just trying to get that whole like half moon shape that's happening. I think I need to go much bigger with that beard. Oh, filling out some applications. Well, good luck, sir. Yeah, bigger. The beginning. If you guys have any questions about what I'm doing or why, feel free to let me know. Okay, let's do the brim. So with the brim, the easiest way to do a brim like that is to create a temporary object and then draw on top of it. So, temporary object is a sphere today. No, it's normally a sphere. I'm going to do a split unmasked and then arrow down. I'm going to turn this so it's hanging down off the gizmo like this. And then I'm going to scale it up like this. And then I'm only looking at part of this to be the brim. So I'm looking, see how it kind of rolls down on either side, and then it's up in the front, and most likely it's up in the back. Okay, so I'm looking at it to roll down like this, and it's kind of naturally just going to be up in the front. I could pull it even more, but the biggest thing you want to do is just get it in place and use the cylinder or the sphere to give you something as a base to draw on. So I'm just using this move infinite to shoot all the way through the model. I'm moving on both sides, the back and the front, to kind of get that nice curve happening right there. And I want it a little lower in the back and higher in the front. You got to be careful with the move infinite though, because it will always move on the back side of the object. So meaning it will probably move, it'll kind of shoot through and disregard symmetry, or it will still do symmetry, but it will make the mistake on both sides, if that makes sense. So you just got to be careful. Just make sure you're very, very deliberate with that move infinite, or you'll forget that you have it there, and then all of a sudden you'll look at your model, you'll like rotate it and then go, wait, what happened? Oh, I forgot I was using move infinite. So one thing that sculpting asymmetrically gives you is more interest. Like naturally, it just gives more interest to everything. Yeah, usually move infinite does not give you happy accidents, Wilberth, but okay, so now that I have that, what I like to do is flip transparent on, so that way I can draw through my other objects, because I still want to see where the hat is, you know? Yeah, now it's a nice hat. It's like all bulbous. Yeah, ignore the lower half. Just pay attention to the upper half. I feel like a magician. I feel like a wizard. Only pay attention to the upper half. Okay, So now what we can do is draw through the upper part of the hat. So what I like to do is I like to draw a cross, like a plus sign, through the center of where I want that hat to be facing, like the brim to be facing. So this is the back, this is the front, left, right, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna make 4 boxes. So we're gonna go like this, like this, like this. There's 2 boxes, and there's 4. 4 boxes. Okay, and now I like to get rid of these little tails. These two. I'm just holding down Alt and dragging across those tails to get rid of them. But I want to keep these, so I'm not getting rid of those. Okay, so to make the roundness of the hat, I usually start, here, let's make my brush smaller. I usually start with a smaller brush, and you want to absolutely draw right through that green dot. Okay, if you don't, it's going to give you more green dots and then it won't create squares. So just be very careful to draw right through that green dot. And go out far enough where you can connect these. Right through and out. And then one more. Right through and out. Okay. Now we're going to start over here and connect all these. There's a square. I'm going to keep going from this one. There's a square. And only where the lines cross is what you should care about. The line itself doesn't matter. Only where they cross. It's still just going to make a square no matter how squiggly your line is. So you could draw clear over here, clear up there, and all the way, and then cross. And it's still going to make a square. So you don't have to worry about being perfect with your lines. Okay, now this one's kind of tricky. I got to draw through that green dot. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 guys and go whoop. And notice I don't stop on the dot. I draw through it because it just helps ZBrush figure that out. Okay, because you don't want multiple green dots. Like I said, it's not gonna make your faces. So now I turn my draw size down to 1 and then tap on the surface, and it looks like it disappeared, but it's in there. It's inside our temporary object right now. So our temporary object is masked. So I want to split those 2 apart. So I'm going to hit split unmask points. And now we can hide our original bubble head and select our new hat piece. And let's turn on double-sided. Okay. And then let's turn off transparency, and we can kind of see. You can kind of see where it's already got the curvature that I wanted. It's got some thinness to it, and dynamic subdivisions is turned on, so I can just add thickness now. And it just goes, whoop, give me thickness. Okay, and now I don't want the edges of that hat to be so stinking crispy. So I'm going to get rid of the creases on the edges, but now it's shrunk. I don't want it to shrink, so I'm going to hit post subdiv. And then it gives me something like this. And I can crank up the subdivision levels to like a 4, then it's smoother. Okay, but now you can see the hat underneath there. So now it's just going to take some adjusting with the move brush to get it lined up and look right. And I can also, it's so low of resolution. I mean, look how low that is, you guys. So it's so low of resolution that it's so easy to manipulate and change the shape of it. Imagine if this were like Sculptris Pro super high res and you're trying to move it with a brush or trying to sculpt it, or, you know, it's math magician. Yep. That's how I make the bottom of the soles of my feet a lot. Math magician. Oh, that's funny. See how easy? You just grab these little orange points. And you can use a super big brush if you want and just kind of scooch things around. That's a word, right? Scooch. Super low. I'm showing you guys the secrets today. There it is. All right. So I'm not going to worry about that white rim, that super light edge work right there, because that would take a lot of density on the mesh that I'm not willing to do right now. Okay, so we can pull this side down. It's really I have to say it's pretty freeing to be working without symmetry. Pretty crazy. I like how small this is up here, so I'm gonna make sure I got it small. Don't ask me why I'm using my mouse, but I am. Okay, let's switch back to my pen. Don't you hate those tutorial videos where they're using the mouse and all you hear is click, 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 like it's some ASMR thing? Stop it. I'm going to do AccuCurve with Move Infinite so I can get this little peak right there. Yeah, see, it shoots all the way through. Then I can fine tune it with the Move brush. Just kind of smooth these edges out a little bit. Okay, now I kind of want to take with the cloth brush. Actually, I'm going to use the carve brush. I kind of like what it gives me a little more than the cloth brush sometimes. This might be a little too heavy. Yeah, I like that. Then I can come in with smooth and just kind of smooth it back down. And then it's like a more controlled cloth fold. I can also pull it up, smooth it down. And I can do that down here with these guys, these little cuts. Yes, I'm getting into detail way before I should. Shouldn't be doing this right now. I gotta heed my own advice, you guys. Okay. I want to pull this bill like further forward and really exaggerate that. So again, so you can see it's like super low. Come on. Sometimes it's hard to grab these little handles. Let's add some more thickness to it. I kind of want it a little chunkier than it is in this image. Just because if I decide to 3D print it, I don't have to go back and like work that out, you know, and re-embiggen. Okay, now that I have that, man, his hat is like way pulled down on the sides too. I'm just looking at the spacing between the edge of the mustache and the edge of his hat. And this is way too much space. And I think I need to squish his whole like chin in and up. Remember, you got to do it on both sides. Like, why the long face? Without squishing his nose too much. Whoops. Nose. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna like get some hair in here, but I think his beard needs to come over to the side more, and his hat needs to come down more, basically to compensate for that missing space. That feels better. You gotta close that up. Let's look at this side. I don't want to accidentally hollow it out too much. So you guys that are my students, are you going to do the NPC challenge? Are you going to try that, Ika? So just so you know what I'm talking about, I teach an online course teaching you how to do this stuff. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. I've ran it for since 2017. I was just looking at it today. Holy cow. And in my course, I have a Discord, and we do monthly challenges. Last month, applaud you for not jumping into Nomad to do the hat real fast and sending it back to ZBrush. I think if I was on an iPad, I would, you know. Maybe after Nomad gets to PC, I'll kind of go back and forth. We'll see. But that's kind of what this is. This is like an NPC / quest giver / wizard, whatever you want to call it. That was the idea behind this this choice that I made here. So if you're not a student of mine yet, and you'd like to be, you can check out in the description 3D Character Workshop. And like I said, on the Discord, every month we do a character challenge. And this month is NPC. Last month was Luigi, like Sculpt Anything by designer Luigi Lucarelli. And there's a few students that just really knocked it out of the park. And one in particular that I would like to show off. Maybe two, but let me see here. Hold on a second. Okay. And then at the end of every month, I do, well, I'm getting back into it, but I like to do reviews. Look at this. Ta-da. Awesome. Raph did an outstanding job on this guy. So that was from last, see all these entries here. It's a pretty busy server. And I want to show off Amy's. It's really nice. This one. Super cool. The description did say it quests people to steal fish. What? Is that is that what you put in the description, Neil? I need to read it. This guy could bring me a fish for his potion or yeah. Okay, let's get his robe in there. Too much talking, not enough sculpting. Let's go. Save next. grab this blue color. Split. Split, split, split. Unmask points. Here we go. Can I do the course with Blender or Nomad? Absolutely. It's taught in ZBrush, but you can absolutely follow along. There's a couple students that do. Wilberth is one of them, right? Wilberth, you've done a handful of Nomad sculpts. I think Maximus, there's another student named Maximus. He does a lot in Nomad. I do some in Nomad. And there's a student named Brad who does a lot of Blender stuff in there. So yeah, you can absolutely follow along in something else. The art stuff stays the same. It doesn't matter where you take it or what you use for the art stuff. But the technical stuff, you know, that changes. I actually have a Blender add-on, Sam, that comes with the course. So it's an official 3D Character Workshop add-on that you don't find any other place except for on my site. Here, let me just show you really quick. I'm updating. This is the website here. Like I said, if you want my brushes, you just go right here. And if you want to learn more about the course, it looks like a group of courses, which it kind of is, but this is the course. So if you click on this purple button, as of now, I'm updating this. Here's a bunch of student work. This is your Zyka, right? Here. So yeah, it comes with the main workshop, and this is the original workshop right here. I walk you through how to make a game character from start to finish. This is also a game character. This is more like a live stream that I recorded. And this is the one I'm working on now. I'm actually getting back to this. It's been a long delay, but I'm finally getting back to this one. This is going to be for 3D printing. And you can start out by making this head. Oh, also George Zaki is a student of mine. So if you know his stuff, he does most of his blockouts in Blender. So this is the Blender add-on. This is what it looks like, and it kind of mimics some of my workflow from ZBrush, like joining and separating, stitching, deleting, symmetry. Blech. If I could talk, that'd be great. Decimating, that kind of stuff. And then this is some of my stuff. And this dinosaur right here was done in Nomad, right there. I need to update this. And yeah, Brad is super duper helpful. He's kind of busy right now, but when there's some sculpting rooms on the Discord, and people hang out and sculpt in there. I bet somebody's in there right now. Maybe not. Yeah, Tristan's hanging out in there sculpting. So this is what the Discord looks like. This gets you access. You have all this access when you join the course. And then I also have a mentorship. If you're interested in a mentorship, it's like a yearly coaching calls every single Sunday. So if you're interested in that, you can send me a message through the contact link, and I'll let you know more about it. Yeah, the anime girl with the bow. Did you not see it? I swear that's yours. I'm surprised I don't have. I used to have everybody's name on all of those, and I think I redid it or something, and I gotta get those back. I'm failing. Yeah, I got this one right here. It's gonna be 20. Yeah, there's your name right there. That's yours. Yeah. This is Wilberth's. I need to update that one too, Wilberth. You have quite a few more. I think this is one of Brad's. He did this in Blender. Yeah. This is another one of Amy's. There's one of George Zakey's. So anyway, yeah, if you're interested, take a look. And if you have any questions, let me know. My name on Discord is Shane-O, like SHANEO. I don't know how I got that Discord name, but if you want to DM me and ask me anything about the course or the mentorship or any of that stuff, the Blender add-on, feel free. I don't mind if you DM me. Yeah, that one. It's been a while, right? It's good though. That's why it's up there. I got to update that. There's been a lot of new student art since then. I need to duplicate myself so I have enough time to devote to all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to leave this solid for now. And I'm going to delete, let me see, group by normals, uncrease all, and then I want to crease this bottom one again. Yeah, man, you're there. Crease, edge loop complete. Oh, that's not going to work. All right, I'm going to undo that and just uncrease these. What? Why is it uncreasing the lower? Gosh dang it. Uncrease edge loop partial. Let's try that. There we go. Because I don't want the top to be creased, just the bottom. I gotta get back to work on my stuff. Do it. Oops. I don't want to Sculptris Pro that. There we go. It's like this it's like this shawl thing with no arms. Really want to bend that up a lot. Man, that beard is huge. Okay. See, every single time, once you add something, you're just like, oh, that's too long. Oh, that's too short. You guys got any good concept artist names you could drop? Trying to find a good one for the NPC challenge. The best thing you can do is just go to Pinterest and look for like townsfolk or tavern folk or something like that. Here, let me see if I can find one and show you. That's the way I do it. That's my cheaty. Townsfolk. So they're not all stylized, but you can kind of get a hint of, you know, you could take some of these and stylize them yourself. Yeah, of course there's some AI ones, but yeah, you're just kind of looking for NPC looking people, you know? Just people walking around town, like fantasy. You could do like, let's see, what else could you do? D&D NPC. Yeah, like this little guy. He's a little too detailed, but you could scroll through and find some stylized. Look at this little mushroom guy. He's awesome. Mushroom warrior. Yeah, you can. That's basically how I found this wizard guy. Or you could exclusively say, you know, wizard or dwarf or whatever you're looking for. Like if you want to get more specific. Yeah, AI is flooding your Pinterest. Yeah, it's unavoidable, honestly. But I mean, if you find a good AI one, maybe just make it your own, you know? Like, I'm trying to think if I've sculpted any AI. I think I might have. I can't remember. I have so many concept friends, and it's best to pay your concept friends to do your designs for you. That's what I tend to do, but not everybody can afford that, you know. So while you're learning, at least, I feel like it's okay to to use AI concepts. Just don't make it look like AI. You know, there's some a lot of AI is just blatantly obvious. And sometimes it can come through in your sculpt. Then your sculpt looks like it was made in AI, you know, which is not great. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do concept art. The time is okay. Got a ways. His 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 skirt is so his robe thing is so short. And then I want to exaggerate and big in that beard more. It's not big enough. More beard. Here, let's check it. We can always check it by doing this. And look at that frog on his shoulder. Is that the cutest thing ever? Okay, so let's see how close I am. Well, geez, that's not too far off actually. I'm I'm excited for that. His skirt needs to come up though. His robe thing. And his nose needs to be way taller. Let's see here. So what you can do is kind of line it up, and then we'll move the ring out of the way, and then we can go up and down in in opacity. So you can see that his hat is too big. I need to go smaller with his hat, bigger with his nose, even smaller with his eyeball, and flip his eyebrow out more. But I can bring that. Okay, lots of stuff. So I would say always check against your concept, but don't match it exactly. Like that angle and everything, because most likely it's going to be off. A good quick meme to make from the stream. What are you talking about? What did I do? I'm always like worried about what you guys are going to grab and use against me later. You should see all the memes in the Discord. All the emojis and I got the best students. I'm blessed with the best students. So thank you guys for being awesome. Bananas. Yep. Bananas was a thing for a while. Guess it still kind of is. Yeah, and off topic. It's got a crooked nose. I love it. I do want to bring his eye in just a little bit. Not sure if I can kink his beard like that or not. Yeah, that works. And then I want to bring this back side of the robe up a lot. I tend to go for the flow of things more than the size of things, and it gets me into trouble sometimes. Okay, I'll have to adjust this once I get everything into place, but I love how short his little body is. It's looking pretty good. Pull this up more. Sweep it around the back. Okay. I kind of want to twist it. Twist. Turn it up like that. There we go. Booyah. It's interesting to also pose while sculpting. Very interesting. Because it kind of makes you think about it in a completely different way. I think in a good way, for the most part. Okay, I want to put this hair in there because this space is still bugging me. Okay, so I'm just going to block it in with another sphere. Let's grab this color. And then just grab the move brush and just kind of move it around into that swoopy shape. It's going to cover his ear, cover a lot of his eyebrow. Oh. And then kind of go up. I'm not going to do this hair yet, just this kind of hair grouping right there. I want to get it to swoop in at the top and out at the bottom. And then let's inflate it so it has a lot more volume. But I want it to grow from, you know, from underneath his hat. So it looks like it's coming from under his hat and then swooping back. So now that I have this, I can turn on Sculptris Pro again. Smooth it out. Let's crank up the intensity of it, and then we can use the detail brush to kind of draw some of that flow in. It's going to curl back up and around. And I still consider this block out, like just roughing out like where hairs are gonna originate and dissipate to just help me kind of visualize the direction. Okay. See, that's better already. I'm looking at the distance between his mustache and that new hair, and that's feeling better. And then the space, like his cheek, that's feeling better. His forehead, I think once I get the two swoopy hairs coming in, I think that'll be awesome. And then he's got this, it's almost like a big cape of hair back here coming out from underneath his hat, and that's going to be really interesting. And it looks like this hair is going up and over his shoulder and then ending here. See how it's different than the rest of his hair? I think that's going to go up and over his shoulder. So let's get that arm in place and see what that looks like. And I'm still working slow, I feel like. I don't know how what's his face? Speed character guy, Nico. I don't know how he does it. He just like uses not dynamic topology, voxel resculpting, and just goes for it. But I feel like I'm just more methodical about it, I guess. Okay, I want to go from thick to really thin right here. And then I'm going to get this bent right away. Do you guys ever watch Nico? He sculpts mostly in Blender. Well, always in Blender. He used to do ZBrush, but you know what? I'm going to split this off so I can get more resolution. Delete lower. There we go. Let's blur this a little bit. Boom, boom. Then bend it. Bend it down. That's already cracking me up. His pose is really, really good. I like it a lot. Gonna smooth this out a little bit. That's where the frog will end up sitting. But I'm wanting to kind of shrink that arm now in this direction, as well as in this direction. Here we go. I'm gonna block his hand in a little bit later. All right, I gotta stretch for a second. Okay. Nico is speed, but I've seen some people as fast and good as him, even in Nomad. Yeah, for sure. And in my opinion, speed isn't just the thing. Like when I was at Disney, they frowned on speed over quality is king. Okay, let's flip over to this side. Not saying that Nico doesn't do good quality either, but some of his sculpts are a little rough. But he, like I said, he only spends an hour, maybe two. And I've seen some of the sculpts that he takes more time on, and they're really nice. Okay, and I want to kind of get his shoulders straightened up here to match. Oh, goodness. Okay, you know what? It's time to, I'm going to Z-remesh this. Or I maybe split these arms off and leave this alone. Split hidden. Yeah, there we go. And it's kind of turned a little bit like this. Oh, it makes me laugh. Let's dig that opening out a little bit, kind of dip it in. Same with this one. Just kind of give it that end a little bit. This one's kind of big. Make it smaller. I'm almost out of water. Got coffee though. Speed becomes second nature if you usually don't commit to finishing the sculpts. Yeah. I mean, I consider myself quote unquote sort of fast, but I mean, it's only been an hour and a half, right? And I've gotten this far, but finishing in the sense of the really fine details, yeah. Here's, I want to aim his nose down more. See, I'm constantly fine tuning and stuff too. I'm not saying he doesn't, but just back and forth, back and forth. All right, let's get that. I love his like pantaloon things. They're so funny. His toes sticking out. I can't afford shoes. Some people say I'm fast, but I only find myself finishing a project every few months. Yeah, you know who's fast too is Dynamo. His name's Hung, but he goes by, his nickname is Dynamo 3D. He's got a Patreon. He does one character per month, and they're extremely detailed. That guy just, yeah, super impressive. Okay, let's get those little pantaloons going. Pantaloons. Maybe spheres. Yeah, he's one of my all-time favorite sculptors. Dynamo. He uses a lot of base. He uses one base mesh that's his own. Yeah. But he changes it every time. And I don't frown on base mesh usage. But it can inform your sculpt, you know? So what I mean is it can start to look samey And I think some of Dynamow's characters do start to look samey. But then you get somebody like Danny Mac, and he doesn't use base meshes most of the time, and his models tend to look samey as well, because I think as an artist you just kind of tend to lean towards what you know and what you like your taste, and so it ends up ending up looking like a style, and it's just because you yourself did it. You know, it's not really intentional. I think it's just like, oh, I like these things, so I tend to and use things that have worked for you in the past. Oh, a few of Dynamouse, yeah. Me too. I've been a Patreon of his for quite some time. I actually have two of his prints sitting over there. I printed out Mandy from the one that's on his main art station, the one that's all like laying on her back. And then a Zero Suit Samus I thought was really good. He did that one a long time ago, but I printed that one out as well. I just need to finish painting it and assembling it. What do you think of those guys who take over a year for a single insane detailed sculpt? I mean, each to each of their own. I would never do that. I don't have the patience, you know. And either do my clients. I gotta get them. I gotta get them done. Just for future ref, most YouTubes on my TV are at 7, and yours I set it to 20 volume. I don't want to blast people if you up it now, but thought I'd mention it. So does it have, can you guys hear me okay? Are you saying it's low? Because it's like if I look at my audio mixer in OBS, it's like, see this? It's like in the yellow. So I don't know. I'm afraid to turn that up, and I don't want to get into the red because then it'll start flatlining, you know? So I'm not sure. Is it kind of low? Here, let me crank this up. Check test. Okay, is that better? Is that louder? Maybe I'll have to add a gain and pump up the gain on it. Just compared to others. No, I really appreciate that feedback. Because I can hear my voice in my headphones and it seems loud to me, but I don't think it's coming through to the stream. Okay, I'll see if I can mess with it offline. Is that better when I turned it up? I know there's a 20-second delay, so I'll gotta wait for your answer. I wish they'd fix the latency on YouTube. Twitch is so much better. It didn't change at all. Is that better? Just like, what'd you do? Nothing? Okay. Mm. Man, I don't know what else. Yeah, I'll have to. I'll look at it. because I do want it loud enough. I don't want it to be a lot different than others. Let me move this. Okay. I had this issue with my OBS as well. I was using NVIDIA Broadcast Studio mode as making my audio quiet, but in OBS it's still redlined. Okay, weird. Oh yeah, thanks for the feedback, guys. I'll have to listen to it and see if I can figure it out. Okay, let's get rocking some more. Get these legs going. And I do want to kind of shrink this end up a little bit more so there's like a thick to thin happening. I love how his left sock's all striped and his right sock is just solid. But he still like has a magical robe on. Too funny. Okay, let's do another cylinder. Now this one is like bent, so I'm gonna try a couple things here. Put it up and out like this. Then use the Z modeler to not crease but insert. Let's turn dynamic off. We're going to do 3 lines like this. And then I'm going to mask off the back half. Like this. Yeah. Invert and blur it just a little bit. See, now when I bend it, it bends nice like a game model. Another stream I watched, it was just the gain in blue, yet reset all the time, so even at max and ons the gain was low, etc. How do you reset the insert mesh after using Alt to make the cylinder thinner? I can never remember. Oh, Blue Yeti. Oh, gotcha. It's just the gain in the Blue Yeti. Yeah, I have a Roland Cast 1, it's called. It's an audio interface. And then I have this Shure microphone hooked to it. I don't know if you guys can, you can't see that, can you? Yeah, it's like it's a pretty pricey mic, but I haven't had too many problems with it before, so I don't understand why it's having issues now. How do you reset the insert mesh? So are you talking about like to make it snap to the world? Micah, is that what you're talking about? I used to have a Blue Yeti, but it picked up everything, like everything. So this is more of a dynamic mic that's closer to, it's kind of the ones that are on like Joe Rogan and stuff, those. Okay. Now I need to really balance him out. get this way far behind him like this. Okay. No, I mean when you drag back down to make a sphere into an oval or the cube into a rectangular box. How to reset it? Is that what you're asking from that? Usually you have to kind of draw it again. I don't know if there is a way to reset it. Maybe there is and I don't know about it. But like, you're talking about like, say this cube. Yeah, as long as you're pulling out, it's a square. But as soon as you push in, it becomes a rectangle. If that makes sense. So to keep it a square, just don't push back in. You just kind of pull out only and then let go. NVIDIA Broadcast has great noise canceling tech, cuts out my kids. Oh, nice. By the way, the pose in this guy looks cool. Thanks. Yeah, I need to rotate all of him though. Forward. Like, oh, come on now. Get over here. Like so. There we go. That's better. So there should be a way to reset it back into a square. I don't know if there is. There probably is, and I don't know about it. Because I just redraw it. I've never taken the time to figure it out. I guess I'm lazy in that regard. Or it's just hidden and I've never found it. Oh, hey, Tristan, how are you? You can also add control click to mask the entire object, then activate the gizmo and click the IMM you want in the scene. Use the yellow square in the gizmo to make it bigger. I'm trying to understand what you're throwing. I'm trying to pick up what you're throwing down, Tristan. Let's see. You can also control click to mask the entire object. Are you talking about like individual objects here in the scene, or are you talking about like, so as I'm pulling this out? So interesting, if you add control to this, it just rotates and it won't let you push back in. If that makes sense. So it doesn't, yeah, it does reset it. So if I push in and it's a rectangle and I add control, it goes back to a cube. Hey, you learned something new today. So there's the rectangle, there's the square. I'm just adding control to that action, then it'll rotate it. Interesting. But Tristan, are you talking about after you add this and then you hit gizmo and now you can just use that to scale it up and down? I do that a lot. Yep, Jose, that worked. Control is the secret. That's the one. Okay. And you can also control click on an object to isolate mask it. And then you can move the gizmo around and manipulate it. Okay, I'll just tell you guys, that right there is my biggest gripe about Blender, to be honest. Because you can't really do that. You can't, in sculpt mode, you can't really move the gizmo around like this freely. You can in Nomad and you can in ZBrush, but you can't in Blender unless you go to edit mode. And so then it's like hot potato. You're just going back and forth between edit mode and scope mode, edit mode and scope mode. And there's no super easy way to do it. So the guy that that wrote my add-on for Blender, he kind of did a workaround where it will mask everything in the scene and allow you to move the pivot temporarily. But the problem with that is you have to then you have to bake down the transforms, or else your sculpting is not going to work very good. So yeah, it's just kind of this, it's kind of a hokey mess. Mask everything in the scene, control click the empty space, then turn on your gizmo. After you click the square in the IMM brush, it will put an IMM where the gizmo is. Oh, are you talking about like the rotation? Or, okay, here we go. Let's try what you say. Okay, mask everything. Okay, I just have this one, this robe object masked, okay? Click on the empty space. Okay, turn on your gizmo. So, can I just put my gizmo somewhere? And then after that, click on your IMM brush. Right? And it'll put a cube where your gizmo is. Oh, I can see it. And then you got to scale it up. Okay, wow, there you go. So instead of drawing it on the surface of your object, you can just pop it into space wherever you want it. Got you. Okay, that's something new I didn't know. Got it. Thanks, man. All right, that's cool. I've learned 2 things today. Sweet. That's super good to know. Okay, I'm gonna move this back. Yeah, Tristan, sorry, there's like a 20-second delay on YouTube. Oh, I guess I could have masked both these together, unmasked. And then I want to move them back. Bend it just a little bit. I'm trying to get that foot underneath him. And then let's twist it. There we go. Now we're almost there. Now we're cooking with grease. as my buddy Mel Milton would say. Now we're cooking with grease. If you guys don't follow Mel, you should. Mel's amazing. He's one of my best buds. And he paints like the wind blows. Yeah, this is Mel. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, look at this stuff. Oh my goodness. Look at this. He did this series for quite some time where he would make these like golden inlays on skin. It's just so good. Oh my gosh. And then he does a lot of Wonder Woman, like a ton. I wonder how many he's drawn of Wonder Woman. Yeah, a lot. If you had to retopologize this guy for game character, what would you use? Well, first of all, I wouldn't sculpt him asymmetrically like this. Yeah, he's a concept artist. Yep. I've worked with him at several studios. An illustrator. I think he works for Marvel. So I'm not sure exactly what he does for Marvel right now. But yeah, he's been a concept artist in the past and an illustrator. He's done. Yeah. But those are all the ones I was shown. Those are just his personal works. But he goes to a lot of comic book conventions, so you might be able to meet him in person. For this monthly challenge, can we sculpt our concept that's not symmetrical? Who is posed in a symmetrical A pose? You can, sure. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him. I'm not sure exactly. He's kind of secretive about it. So I don't know exactly what he's working on. He'd have to kill me. Sorry, I keep tweaking these legs. Yeah, I've modeled a couple of his concepts in the past. But his stuff's kind of hard to model, to be honest. Sculpting asymmetrical is a beast of its own. Yes. Tell me about it. But it's fun. It's freeing. Kind of liberating. Last thing you hear is goofy voice after you answer the door. What are you talking about? All right, creative. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'm just about done. I'm gonna wrap it up here in about 2 minutes. Just gonna do a save next. Make sure I got this thing saved. I just like making anything I make multiple use. So if I'm going to sculpt the character, I want to make sure I can use it for a game character if I want, or for some other medium practice. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, 9 times out of 10, that's what I do with my characters is I sculpt them in a pose first, and then I'll sculpt them in pose later. I'll pose them later. But this guy is pretty unique in this. You know, he's got all this flow and all these curves and all this stuff happening that I just kind of wanted to challenge myself and see if I could put this guy in a, like, sculpt him asymmetrically, basically. Yeah, so far so good. And I've been doing more and more prints and less game characters recently. I've done a lot of game characters in the past, but yeah, I tend to just want to do stuff for 3D print these days. I'm using Nomad with, oh, you mean Cozy Blanket? Yeah. Yep. That's a good combo. I've streamed a lot of Nomad on this channel recently. People always joke that if someone works at Marvel or Disney, people get visited by the character if they talk too much. You've said too much. Like that. You shouldn't have said that. That's my best Goofy. I like how he's tiptoeing. Tippy toe wizard. I'm gonna pull this down like that. All right. Pretty happy with the iPad setup for comfort use. Yeah, it works really well. I wish there were a few more tools in Nomad, but and I'm just so used to ZBrush that I tend to hop back and forth. How's that? Depending on what I'm doing. And now we have ZBrush on the iPad, so you can hop back and forth there. And I actually really like retopologizing inside of Cozy Blanket. Yeah, Pablo did a really good job with that program. And I'm hoping Pablo kind of gets to where he needs to be with uniform, because that uniform also has some good ideas with it, but it's just I think Pablo like designed it because he's an artist himself, or a good artist, you know. And I think he designed it for himself, almost like how he would want it to work. But it just takes a lot of memorization of the hotkey sequences. And so in order to learn and use that program, you have to memorize a bunch, and not everybody wants to put in that kind of effort just to learn software like that. So, but he's taking some advice from the masses and adjusting the UI to be a little more user friendly. Cozy Blanket comes in really useful when bored in flights. Yeah. Yeah, I almost prefer Cozy Blanket over like retopologizing in 3D Code or something like that. It's really good. The only complaint I have about it is if you're retopologizing a very complex something or other, and you have a lot of different parts that you need to retopologize together, and you're trying to go over the top of all of those parts, and you need to hide and show pieces. It has a hide and show feature, but it's not per object. It's almost like a brush or like a lasso hide. And it's not intuitive as far as how I need to have it work. That's really my only complaint. Okay. I think I'm gonna pause here, you guys, and we'll finish this. We'll work on it some more on next Tuesday's stream. But I appreciate every one of you for coming and hanging out with me today and sculpting with me. I really appreciate it. It makes it a lot of fun. So, and once again, I give away these brushes and this user interface that you see here. If you go over to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, you can buy them over there. Buy them. They're free. You don't have to buy them. But I teach a workshop called the 3D Character Workshop. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just click the big purple button. You'll learn more about it. And then I also have a mentorship if you're interested in that. That's a really deep dive into giving you feedback, and it's a good resource. So it's kind of an alternative to university if you're thinking about that. It costs much less than university. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email through the contact page, and I'll give you some more information about that. It's just group coaching every weekend. So anyway, guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. And yeah, good times. I can't wait to see where this guy goes. So take care, and we'll see you all next week. Actually, I'm streaming on Maxon's channel on Thursday, same time. So noon Pacific. If you want to catch me over there, I'll be streaming over there on Thursday. So, all right, see you there or next week. Take care, guys. Cheers.